Season 3 Insecure is back. I'm so hyped. This is my show. I love Insecure. I've been waiting all fucking year for this show to come back on, and I'm so excited. All right. So, we left off last season with Issa at Daniel's door, bag in tow. Her ass was going to sleep on the couch, is what she said. All right. Now, we all thinking, yeah, right, bitch. We know you're going to be fucking the shit out of Daniel. But as it seems in season 3, the opening scene is Daniel having sex with another woman. All right. At first, it makes it seem as if he could be possibly having sex with Issa because the girl favors her a little bit complexion wise. But then as the camera pans out, we realize he's not with Issa. Issa's actually hearing him pounding this woman as she's sleeping in the couch. Okay, she looks disgusted and she rolls out. All right. At this point, it's revealed that she is now a Lyft driver. Okay, that seems to be her new part-time job. We know last season she was having some financial problems, which is why she had to move out in the first place. Then her car got wrecked, so she needed this shit. All right. So we follow Issa. We see what she's been doing day to day. We follow her till we got y'all, and we see her sitting at the desk. And now this is literally the first time I think in Insecure history that we see Issa at the desk as opposed to in the field. On the field having that freedom, and now it seems like she's been demoted to the desk. All right. She seems miserable, and from the calls that she's having with customers, it seems like schools have decided to cancel partnership with We Got Y'all. So honestly, y'all, I don't know why Issa's still working at We Got Y'all. It seems like she's not making a lot of money. It seems like she's not happy there. I don't even know why she's still there. Okay. Plus, she's being demoted right now. And it seems to me that the business may actually go out of fucking business. So I think either Issa's going to get fired or We Got Y'all is going to go out of business because it seems like shit just isn't good there. All right. So after we see what Issa's been up to, we kind of catch up with Molly. We get a clip of Molly, who is apparently out of the country somewhere on vacation. She's looking, real relaxed with her braids, chilling on a fucking lawn chair with a drink. So if we know anything about Molly last season where we left off, she was, basically fucking Dro, the married best friend, her childhood best friend who was married. Now we all know she wasn't finna just stop fucking Dro like that, but I did think for 5 seconds that she may have kind of moved on with this new guy on the beach, but it was short-lived because we realized he was just some tourist or whatever. So now that we caught up with Issa, we caught up with Molly, this is where the show follows Daniel, unless you see what he's been doing day to day. So we follow him to the studio. He's dealing with some trash artist who was hilarious, by the way. Shout out Dawn from Danity Kane making the band. So she was, pretending to be an artist who had very little vocal talent, and she just acted out that scene hysterically. It was so funny. So we finally get Issa and Molly together. Now, these are my favorite scenes. The scenes between Issa and Molly and the scenes with all 4 girls, those are my favorite scenes of the whole freaking show. That's when all the action happens. That's when the great dialogue happens. So I was super excited to finally see them link up in this episode when Issa picks Molly up from the airport. Okay. So Molly's fresh off of her vacation. Issa picks her up in the airport. They make a few jokes about, her car smelling like vomit because she's been lifting around drunk people. But they decide to go sit down at a restaurant. Okay, now at this restaurant, Molly and Issa kind of get into, what's been going on. Molly basically tells Issa, why didn't you stay with me? You would have been better off staying with me over, this nigga Daniel who's having sex in front of your face, basically. And Issa's like, girl, you already know I love you too much to stay with you. I thought that was so cute because that's the truth, like the people you truly love, you don't want to put that burden on them. Like they really are the last resort. sometimes. So I thought that was super cute. And they were arguing about like a situation where Issa had broke a vase. From back in the day, like 2005. So that shit was so funny. And then we get to basically Molly, telling her how, she's still talking to Dro, but she ain't really trying to be talking to Dro. The regular smegula. So from there, we follow Daniel a bit more, and we see a little bit more into his background, his day-to-day, his life, which I thought was cool because last season he was just like an extension of Issa. We didn't really see what he was doing on his own time. It was just him in the scenes with Issa. So this opening season, this opening episode of the season, it follows Daniel to his sister's house. We see his sister braiding his niece's hair. And basically he came there to get his guitar, his instrument or whatever. And the sister makes mention of, how Issa is still sleeping on his couch and how long is she going to be there. And, Daniel assures her that they're just platonic friends. And she's like, yeah, why is that? Basically like, nigga, Issa's using your ass, okay? She friend zoned you and then now she's sleeping on your couch for free. So I thought that was cute just to get a little insight into Daniel's world. To me, it shows me that we're going to see a lot more of him this season, and he's really going to be key in Issa's storyline. Okay, so we finally get that scene with Issa and Daniel where she confronts him about having sex with the girl in front of her. Issa and Daniel, they kind of chit-chatted up. Daniel kind of tries to initiate kissing Issa, and Issa's like, what the fuck? Why would you try to kiss me? Like, we're not like that. And he's like, what is this? Why are you even here? Out of all the places you could have went, why you choose me? Why you choose my crib? And Issa, probably without thinking, or I don't know if she was trying to make a joke of it, Issa's like, oh, well, it's close to my job. So that was funny as shit. Daniel, he seems like his feelings got hurt a little bit. But then Issa, she decides to keep it a little bit real. And she's like, look, I don't mean that. I just, thank you for being there for me, whatever. I could tell Daniel's so fucking tired of her, but he's just trying to do the right thing. I think Issa's super wishy-washy. So, it's just like, what the hell? So cut scene. We're now at Molly and Dro's place. I'm going to call it Molly and Dro's place because Dro got a key and shit. He just be entering whenever he wants. But yeah, we see Molly all hugged up with Dro. They clearly just finished having sex. They're in the bed. He's talking about making pancakes. But then the phone rings, okay? Dro picks it up. We clearly see it's his wife on the phone. He has a conversation with his wife on the phone, and he's like, nah, I'm still at Molly's. So I thought that was super interesting. I was like, wow, so she really does know about Molly. Or at least that's how he made it sound, because I can't imagine his wife being okay with him being at Molly's, even if they are best friends early in the morning, because it just seems super weird. But I was kind of shocked to hear him actually tell his wife he was at Molly's, because last season I kind of thought Dro was lying about the whole open marriage thing. I literally thought it was just a fucking lie. I'm like, yeah, he's telling Molly whatever just to get in those draws. But at the end of the day, though, it seems to be an open marriage. So we get to We Got Y'all again the next day, and we see that Issa's ass is still fucking up at work, okay? She tried to, I guess, kind of be proactive and kind of try to figure out why We Got Y'all is losing accounts. So she called some of the old customers and tried to see, why they decided to not, do business with We Got Y'all. Didn't go over well with the manager. She didn't ask for the manager's, consent to do this. So her manager, the white woman who thinks she's black, she got super fucking pissed at Issa. Basically was like, you keep fucking up. Every time there's a problem, it has to do with you. That's why you're not in the field. I can't trust you. So Issa's just having super bad luck when it comes to work. That's why I said, I really think she needs to think about just leaving We Got Y'all before they drop her. That's what I think. That's, also why she's lifting full time. But This is where we get to the funniest scene of the day. All right. So Issa, she decides to go home, and Daniel gives her the heads up. You know, she asked Daniel, she's like, look, nigga, if you're going to fuck people, just give me the heads up. I don't care who you fuck, just let me know. All right. So Daniel does the respectable thing, and he gives Issa the head up. You know, he's like, look, heads up, somebody coming. So she decides to get out the house and do some lifting, all right, for the night. So she persuades Molly to come with her, even though Molly has a prior date planned with Dro. So Molly gets in the lift. Issa decides it's going to be a party lift, okay? She got a bunch of Capri Suns in the car and snacks and shit. So they're on this party lift. They decide to pick up, cute guys. I didn't even know you could do that, but apparently they could choose by the picture of who they want to pick up. This one guy gets in the car, and it's this fine ass, caramel looking dude. I don't know who he was, but he was fine. And him and Issa seem to be, making little eye contact through the rearview mirror and shit. And at the end of the episode, he ended up tipping her $50. So that tells you everything right there. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of him. So as they're on this party lift, we got Fine Dude in the back, we got Molly in the front, we got Issa driving. So they're about to pick up one more person. So they pull up, and it's this big ass dude. And Molly was like, oh no, Issa was like, oh, that's just one nigga. That shit was so funny. It was so funny. I literally screamed. This car scene, by the way, was the funniest part of the whole episode. Big dude gets in the car. He like, oh, this a party lift? That's what's up. So he grabs him some Capri Suns, even though they weren't the good Capri Suns. And, he decides to roll him up a blunt. He started breaking down weed and shit. So Molly peeps in. She's like, Molly, she like, Issa, they look in the back seat. This nigga's like smoking. Issa tries to tell dude not to smoke. The dude's like, yeah, whatever. Keeps on smoking. So Fine Dude, who's sitting in the back seat with him, he decides to basically take his weed out of his hand and throw it out the window. That's when they start fighting. So it's a huge fight scene, acted out amazingly. Like, everybody deserves a fucking Emmy for that shit. It was such a good scene. Issa's screaming and overreacting is hilarious. A great comedic scene for the beginning of this season. I just feel like the season is going to be so funny. And it's also real because I can see that happening. That's exactly why I don't do Lyft Line or Uber Pool. I don't do that shit. This is why. Because you don't know who is riding with you. Issa gets back to the house after staying out all night. It seems like Daniel was waiting up for her. They finally have like a heart-to-heart conversation, which was needed because we end up finding out that Issa was staying there rent-free. It's very confusing whether Issa has feelings for Daniel or not, or if Daniel has feelings for Issa or not. It seems to me like Issa put herself in this situation with Daniel, though, because Daniel is just on some shit like, Daniel didn't come to her door. Issa came to his door. So because of that, it's like, Issa, you need to be clear with what you want because you're the one who came here. You feel me? So I'm totally on Daniel's side here because it seems like Issa's playing games, and she gonna end up getting her feelings hurt if she keep playing these games. All right. Molly and Dro, we don't know what's going on. At the end of the episode, they kind of get into a little fight because, Dro came in her house unannounced with that key that she gave him. And Molly's like, look, we need to set some boundaries because, she's realizing that Dro and his wife have made an arrangement, and Dro will never leave his wife for her. And I think it's setting in for Molly that, shit, I got myself in some shit. I don't need to have these feelings, but I'm not ready to cut this off. So we need to create some boundaries because I'm getting in too deep. I'm getting too comfortable, and this shit could switch at any moment. So they had their first blow up, her and Dro, and basically Dro put Molly in her place and was like, don't talk about what me and my wife do. Okay? So that right there would have been enough for me. If I heard a nigga say that to me, oh, there's no more affair. There's no more nothing. Like, I would be done. I wouldn't even have been with him from the beginning because hell no. I'm not getting involved in nobody's marriage. But this is Molly's story. That's what she decided to do. But I think after this episode, her eyes may be open just a bit wider. Okay. I think for the season opener, it was a pretty good episode. It had some nice comedic parts in there. I cannot wait until the next episode because I already saw in the sneak peek that all the girls will finally be reuniting, and I know Tiffany is pregnant, so I want to see how that plays out in the dynamic with everybody. And then I love Kelly. Kelly's fucking hilarious. So when she's on screen, I enjoy every minute. But yeah, I think this season is going to be great. I don't know if it was just because this was the first episode or not, but this episode was actually like 40 minutes as opposed to the 25-30 minutes it usually is. So I don't know if they have extended the time a little bit, but if they did, I like it. I love it. I think there needs to be more episodes or longer episodes, preferably more episodes, because I think we just need a fuller season now that everyone's so deep into it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I will see y'all episode 2, season 3. Bye.